Hello YouTube. The recent Odyssey patch has recently just been uploaded onto Singularity, so I'd like to give it a try and show you some of the things that are new and some of the things I found out that have issues. As you see right now, there's currently new station interior design, which I liked it a lot. Here I'm using my standard Heron going to run some exploration sites. The new exploration sites are actually released right now. However, I couldn't find any of the radar sites. I don't think the radar sites have been released yet. Uh, Mainly, I've been finding a lot of the combat sites and some archaeology sites. The recent change shows that you can only launch 7 probes now. You don't launch them one at a time. You launch them 7 at a time. And this fits cap stable with the small shield booster off, and is on I think about a minute. Now I really like the interior design for the Caldari. It really matched the ship, and all the color schemes and the textures, they all match. And now you can see that the ships are actually flying in the stations now. However, the ship size are not to scale. And some of these, they remove the loading bars, and you can see that the capacitor, once you undock, slowly fill up. That's one of the nice features. As you've seen from the FanFest, the one-click overview is also pretty good now. Here I'm going to do some basic scanning. So right now you're only going to see one block, directional block now, instead of the original one per probe. You can still access that by holding down the shift key. However, the shift key and the alt key functions have been switched slightly. The shift key, pressing the shift key just should allow you to see all of the probes, and pressing the alt key actually move them, triggers the move them together function. So here you can see that I've already scanned out some sites. I've been starting to bookmark the strength of the sites from the overview scan. I've noticed that reason why they moved the deep space probe is kind of justified. So since that, the base strength of the signals, the cosmic signals, have been pretty consistent based on just the new direction discovery scan. The Santra Watch and the 4 out of 10 deities has been consistently showing as 5%, and I think the 3 out of 10 has been consistently showing as 10%. So if you do want to rush these sites, you can just look for those. What bothers me is that I'm here landing on a relic site, which was originally the archaeology sites. They don't actually require you to have the tool. Another thing I noticed is that when you hit the asset tab, the highlights are off, but after you jump through a start gate, the highlights actually line up again. Yeah, that's one of the small bugs I found. What I didn't like about the new discovery scan is that it doesn't tell you where it is, unlike planets and anything you click on originally in space, like anything with a bracket, it kind of follows the edge of the map. But the new discovery scan, it doesn't really show you which direction to look at, so you end up having to ship spin in space to actually figure out how many signatures there are. Scanning has become a lot easier since just the release of these update. Right now, you can one click, pretty much scan with one hand, one click the edge of the bubble for any of the bubble to resize all the bubbles. Um, However, after you scan it down, the site does not become 100%. So if you do move your probe and you haven't bookmarked it, you have to rescan it again. This is different from the current version where you scan down site. Once you get it to 100%, it automatically becomes 100%, even if you move your probe away and rescan to a different thing. Now, when you rescan a different signature, that first signature you scan down is not 100% anymore. It's whatever strength, like maybe 80 or whatever you found before. So you ended up having to ignore the signatures you found previously, so you don't have to, distinguish which one to scan again. Or if you memorize which ID tag you already scanned, then that would be useful too. Yeah, so you consistently see that there are the signature sizes is corresponding to the kind of like the Dead Space probe bittersweet guide that you used before. They kind of match what the type of what level kind of the sites are belong to. Now it is nice once you jump in the system, you could see how many signatures and what strength they are. So if you don't feel like scanning down weaker strength or weaker sites, you don't have to, focus on scanning the entire system. Another thing is that I don't really like the default probe layout for pinpoint. That does not allow me to reduce the size by 2x. So, for example, if I'm scanning at 32 AU, the default size, once I resize 2x down to 8, so like 16 to 32 to 16 and 16 to 8, you most often lose the position of your signatures. So I ended up having to kind of reorganize the probe a little bit. I drag them out a little bit, so it rarely intersect or barely intersect in the middle of your center bubble. Another thing I noticed that is when you first jump into the system, you toss your 7 probes down, and then once you call them back, you get this block with arrows in the center of the system, and then that's not corresponding to a probe. There's no probe out. I guess it's a bug of automatic launch the probe in the middle of the system that it leaves a remnant probe mover in the center of the system that you can't actually move. The new jump system, I like that a lot, and then it really just removed the loading bar, which is kind of nice for session changes. As you see that this discovery scan is quite amazing looking. However, you have to end it up, ship spanning to see if anything do come up, like where they are. Sometimes they might be above you, sometimes they may not be. It doesn't track on the side of the game screen, so which is a little bit annoying. Now, if you do have 8 probes fitted when you log in, it's going to automatically get reduced down to 7 probe after you launch it. So you can no longer reload up to 8. It's now only 7 probes. I'm not sure why CCP did not implement this, but the God Ray effect only shows up in the Sancha or in any incursion systems that when you position your ship in front of the sun, that you're looking at the sun through your ship, you can see, you know, the God ray effect, or you see the sunshine kind of pass through the side of your ships, giving out this kind of Lion King looking rays. It doesn't happen in normal systems, so I'm not sure why they only did it for incursions. See, this time I have to actually, you know, spin my ships up and to find where the discovery scan located the CSs. Doesn't give you any indicator, so you may have to spin your ships a little bit to figure out where it is. And the probes automatically launch to the center of the system. So, but it's nice, you can double click on the blocks now to recenter your view instead of clicking on a celestial. Now it launches, it's a little bit spread out. And if you do mess up your formation, you can always click the relaunch button to, you know, to reformat formation button to kind of reorganize your probe again. So this, you see now, once I jump into the system, I recall the probes, and now you get this block kind of thing. You like try to click on it, and you can't move it, and I don't know what's the purpose of that. It's probably a minor hiccup. Yeah, you can't really move it. It's in the center of the sun. And there's no probes. I don't have any probes out. So I'm gonna launch probes again. And I don't really like the probes being so centered, so I drag them apart more. And this allows me to resize down 2 sizes every time to focus on the signatures. If you don't do that, you might have a hard time. Sometimes you lose the signal. You have to bring your size back out a little bit to figure out where it is. Yeah, I do find it quite nice that, you know, you can re-drag all these bubbles with just using the mouse button. So the XYZ axis and the resize with just, you know, anywhere on the screen that you can just click. I still struggle with clicking on the right surface of the probe mover sometimes, and that, you know, comes with practice with you know, double clicking the probe mover and then scrolling into the right, you know, zoom, so you don't kind of click on the wrong thing. Instead of clicking on the surface, you click on the arrow or something like that. If you do, you know, click on the surface instead of clicking on the click on the arrow instead of clicking on the surface, you ended up, you know, swooshing your probes all the way, you know, to the end of the system, and the probes actually kind of collide into each other into like one point. So here I bookmark the sites when I'm done, and I usually just try to add the signature strength. This, as you see right here, the Sancha Nation occupied mine colony is 5%. It's been consistently 5% every time I found it.
User joined your channel.
What's annoying is that every time, you know, you exit out of the map, you come out where you are instead of where the center of the solar system is. Another thing is that I've been trying to get used to the shift and alt key, because shift key is not like move the probes altogether anymore. Shift keys just showing the probes, and alt keys moving the probes altogether. And if you press shift key and you just drag, I think it only drags 1 probes, which is what I'm not used to. that pretty much summarizes the new exploration. What I've been hearing is that radar sites have been changed, and then once you hack the radar site, which is going to be a hacking minigame, there's no rats. Uh, your loot's going to be spewing out in space. We have to just grab it. I haven't found any radar sites. Maybe they're not implemented on SiSi yet. So if you do find some radar sites, let me know. I would love to take a look at them and maybe learn how to run the new radar sites. Yeah, the new gate effect is actually amazing, especially with incursion stargates. I like that a lot. Well, thank